In November 2021, Colombia legislated for far-reaching reforms to university student loans. They mean a fundamental change from a 70-year-old system that required loan repayments by students irrespective of incomes to a much fairer income contingent loan system in which repayments are only made when debtors can comfortably afford to do so. My name is Lorraine Dearden, and my work with Bruce Chapman at the ESRC-funded Centre for Global Higher Education focuses on the design of student loans around the world, including in Colombia. Bruce and I have over 50 years joint international experience, and we shared this experience with local analysts in the Colombian student loan provider known as ESRC. ESRC was led by Manuel Acevedo, and we worked with local analysts Ivan Morales, Juliana Aragon, and Germán Pulido. For over 3 years, we all worked closely, and our joint research and modelling enabled the highly progressive changes that begin in January 2023. As part of this collaboration, we made several visits to Colombia and worked with ESRC to link data on student loans, earnings, and educational outcomes. The first time such linkages have happened in any country to our knowledge. This allowed us to build a sophisticated student loan model for Colombia. The model showed in really clear terms why the current system was causing severe financial distress for a significant proportion of students, and also why there'd been widespread protests against the loan system and ESRC. For example, we found that even before COVID-19, almost half of students had, at some point in time, had to use over 90% of their earnings to repay their student loan. This explained why default rates were extremely high and showed why those from the poorest backgrounds were the worst affected by the loan system.
We work hard with the knowledge that Lorraine, Bruce, and many other researchers from the UK and Australia and Colombia in order to be capable of developing this system tailored to the needs and capabilities of Colombia. The use of the data that Colombia has compiled for several decades have proven to be the key to success. We feel grateful with the work that Lorraine has done and all the people surrounding her in order to be able to commit the resources, knowledge, and capabilities for the amount of new students that will be capable of coming into the higher education system.
How they finally were convinced that they needed to change the loan system was seeing the data. We knew all their earnings, and we could show them that they could have got much more revenue with an income contingent loan.
This exercise can serve as a template, as a way of other countries to pursue loan reform that is happening in Colombia, because they're asking the question, could we do this in our country as well? And those countries have exactly the same problems, and they will persist until they have the kind of changes that have now been initiated in Colombia.
Importantly, it will have an immediate impact on students from the poorest backgrounds. We're confident the reforms that start taking place from January 2023 will eventually mean that no loan holders will have to worry about defaulting on their loan in Colombia.